What's up, everyone? Dr. Nate here with my friend Andrew. Thanks for joining today. We're going to talk about chiropractors. I'm a physical therapist, so apparently there's this big rift between professions. But I will tell you right now, my great-grandfather was a chiropractor. So I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that.
I have a picture I need to get framed of him in a cadaver lab with his chiropractic class of it was like 1930 or something like that. Yeah, it was nuts. But I think he took a picture with the cadaver. Definitely a HIPAA violation.
Yeah, now.
But we're going to talk about chiropractic. I feel like I can bridge the gap here a bit.
Yeah.
Let's take it away.
You're kind of already answering the questions before I even ask them to you. I'm kind of just like, keep going. But yeah, I guess for most people out there, there is this big rift between, I get this question almost every day when I'm working at the clinic, and it's just is chiropractic work good for me? Should I go to my chiropractor? I guess initial thoughts, what are your initial kind of answers on those types of questions?
I put the question back on them. Well, has it been helpful for you in the past? And if people say yes, I say, great, go back. If they say no, hasn't really been helpful, I say, okay, well, what wasn't helpful about it to you? What did you guys do? So I think just real quick, I don't determine whether a healthcare provider is a good healthcare provider based on their profession. I base it based on what they do with their clients. So I really, if a chiropractor or a physical therapist or a DO or other hands-on rehab-based professionals are doing things that are evidence-based and not living in the 20th century, I'm fine with it. It really doesn't matter if you see a PT, a chiropractor, a DO, as long as people are preaching movements, that they're not selling pseudoscience, and understand the recent research around pain and disability. Go see whatever provider you want to. Somebody that's going to encourage you to move and encourage you to increase your overall health and well-being versus telling you that you need to be fixed. And there are people like that who spread that nocibic messaging in all professions. So I'm not here to bash any profession. I think that, I don't know, I feel like that's a very sensible approach. And it's not, because it's kind of don't mean to get political, but it's kind of like Republicans and Democrats right now. There's a tribe, and people paint every person in a certain group as a certain way. Now, unfortunately, that's not based in reality. People are not black and white. People are very gray. They have a large spectrum of beliefs and a large spectrum of practices. So this applies to all domains. Again, it's just based on the person, it's based on the provider, not based on the profession. Now, I will say that there are certain origins of professions, of the chiropractic profession and PT and osteopathic medicine, that have their roots in things that are, have been debunked many times before, that are not accurate. There are still schools that teach a lot of nonsense, unfortunately. And so that's why we have young clinicians who still believe a lot of this bunk science, unfortunately.
It's not their fault. It's basically what's being fed to them.
It's being fed to them, and to some degree, they are they're calling, we're calling ourselves doctors, so we should also have critical reasoning. So I don't know. I think that some of it's not on them, but some of it is on them. So maybe we need to even improve our critical thinking skills prior to even going into a doctoral program. Maybe that's the issue. I'm not really sure. We're getting into a very metaphysical debate. I guess
to keep it back on topic, talk about more doctor physical therapy versus doctor chiropractic work. What would you recommend? Do you think, where do you see this going in the future? Do you see chiropractors working hands on hand with physical therapy? Do you think that's the right way to go? Do you think it's the wrong way to go? What are your thoughts on chiropractic work going for forever? Because my dad He had a back injury, and he's been going to chiropractic work for like 40 years. And I keep telling him he should do physical therapy and, start exercising. He's got a little belly and whatnot, but he's just happy and content going to his chiropractor work. He's like, oh, he fixes me every time. And I know there's like the whole fixation thing is also like every kind of healthcare profession. Like a lot of it does get put on chiropractic work, but I feel like it's a majority of just like everything. Like people like think physical therapists can fix you. They think doctors can fix you. They think chiropractors can fix you. So that doesn't isn't just original for chiropractic work, even though it is, I feel like more like stereotypical for like us to assume that they say that. Yeah. But I guess kind of like, what are your thoughts on like where you see chiropractic work going in the medical professional with physical therapy?
That's a great question. I'm going to tackle that in two different ways.
Okay.
So I think, first of all, I've never met a chiropractor that hasn't pushed exercise and health like hardcore. Mm-hmm. Like I think the entire chiropractic profession, every chiropractor typically will push that I've seen.
Like, I've only met one, and he didn't push any exercises.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I've met lots of chiropractors who highlight to all of their clients the importance of exercise, eating well, getting their sleep, a very holistic approach. So I feel like that's awesome. I mean, I think that's great. What people should be doing, right? Any provider. Unfortunately, chiropractors kind of branded themselves early on as they got known as the people who would crack your neck, or the people who would crack your back and make all your problems go away, or like fix it that way. Mm-hmm. And they're having a hard time climbing out of the hole that they've dug themselves, right? And that's just the honest truth. Like there's a PR problem. There's a PR problem in chiropractic. There's a PR problem in physical therapy too. Mm-hmm. So they both have their issues. In physical therapy, people think that they're just going to come in, do their exercises, and go home, and that exercise can solve all the issues. Yeah, that's also not the case. Mm-hmm. So they just think that we're basically glorified personal trainers in many cases, which is why I don't sell myself as a physical therapist necessarily, because most people don't even know what that means. Yeah. Anyways.
Would you hire a chiropractor for?
Yeah, I'd hire a chiropractor.
Okay.
Yeah. And I actually know one in Santa Cruz. He has his own business.
Oh, nice.
Shout out Kyle Hardwick. Go see Kyle. He's the man.
And then you can do manipulations as well, because I know it depends.
Well, technically, we can't call them manipulations. We can't. It's stupid. Like there's these things that like don't make sense.
What do you have to call them?
High velocity, low amplitude thrust, HVLAT.
Huh.
Yeah, like I don't know if that still stands, but I'm pretty sure it does.
It probably does.
Yeah, but it's just like these stupid things that the Chiropractic Association and the Physical Therapy Association fight over, all the lobbying money that's spent. There's probably been like tens of thousands of dollars that have been spent on a term.
I'm fighting over a term, manipulation
it's
versus
stupid. Like it's a manipulation, it's a HVLAT, it's whatever. You're not even changing anything like major physiologically, like what? Anyways, so these things drive me insane. Like things that just don't make sense. And it's just because people are fighting their little turf war on both sides, right? And so, that's just silly. But let's see, what were we talking about? So the physical therapy and chiropractic.
Yeah, just where do you see it going?
So, what I was saying was that people have, I think every chiropractor or most preaches exercise, but they have backed themselves into a corner that they're the people that do manipulations, right? So the public sees that, and that's why PTs don't really have this problem, but chiropractors have the problem of, and I'm a part of a couple chiropractic groups, so I know this. Yeah. That people come in and they expect like no evaluation, just crack my neck. Dang. Just let me go. Just like make me feel better in 2 minutes and let me be on my way. Yeah. It's like the Jiffy Lube of oil changes. Yeah.
Let me get my oil.
Let me get my oil changed. Yeah. So that's I would be super frustrated if I was a practitioner who was like, well, no, I need to do an evaluation. I need to, it's important that you also exercise. I'd be like, so it's hard. It's hard for chiropractors to stay, or not stay relevant, but to work within this model when the public perceives them a certain way. There's a chiropractor locally that he does some manipulations, but a lot of what he does is wellness-based, exercise, nutrition. So it can be done. It's just, it does take, it almost takes not marketing yourself as a chiropractor. Instead of it's like here, right? It's Catalyst Wellness and physical therapy. Physical therapy is one of the things that we do
of wellness,
right? Yeah, exactly. You know, we have rehab services here if you need them, but we also have personal training. We have health coaching,
and who knows? Maybe we might get a chiropractor here.
Maybe we'll get a chiropractor. Yeah, it'd be great. Because honestly, I'm not great at doing manipulations. I just don't do them that often. And if a chiropractor can come in and do manipulations and they can teach exercise, great.
Easy.
That's awesome. Easy. And then the second way that I wanted to take that question is, I think that PTs and chiropractors potentially, I think that maybe the professions will one day merge in a sense of, I mean, unless like lobbying money like separates them, but essentially we all have bodies, right? And our bodies don't change depending on which practitioner we go to. And if there is, one or maybe two ways of doing things, but they all kind of merge in this like triangle, like it all comes to a point at some point where the evidence says, oh, hey, this is the better path to go. Like if the evidence is taking us down a road, and we're all reading the same evidence, then essentially we should be doing the same things with people, right? And that shouldn't matter whether it's a chiropractor or a physical therapist, if we're all following the same evidence. So I don't see why the professions couldn't merge at some point. Even occupational therapy, right?
They're all doing the same thing.
All doing the same thing.
Providing health care.
Let's be honest. We're all doing the same thing.
Helping people out. Like it's all of their goals, and it's just I kind of see that too. Just them all of a sudden coming together. There's
a lot of overlap. I mean, there's an overlap of athletic trainers, OTs,
physical
PTs,
therapists,
chiropractic.
There's already a lot of collaboration with ATs and PTs at like schools, and that wasn't even a thing. Like probably 20 years ago, it was only ATs. And now there's ATs and PTs, and I can see having OTs come along, and
so really you could probably just put everyone together into a rehab specialist. And then have a rehab specialist that's orthopedic, a rehab specialist that's sports, a rehab specialist that is geriatric, a rehab specialist that's pediatric, right?
Yeah.
That makes more sense to me. So maybe you have a rehab specialty school, right?
If people had questions about...
Like a doctor of rehab.
If people had specific questions about chiropractic work, would you feel comfortable answering those individually? Like if people left like comments down below and be like, hey, like, I don't know, something about chiropractic work. Like, is it good for me if I'm having these kind of situations, or it's been helping kind of, like, do you feel comfortable answering those questions even though you are specifically in physical therapy?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've done videos on subluxation theory, on subluxations. By the way, they don't exist. It's kind of a myth. So, I mean, subluxations do exist. If you've had like a neurological insult, like a stroke, then you can, in fact, have a subluxation, often at the shoulder or other joints. But, subluxation, how it is taught in chiropractic theory, does not actually happen. But again, just to be fair, I can also say that stretching fascia, as many therapists will say happens, also doesn't happen. So, we both schools of thought have things that are not really bound to current literature. But yeah, I'd be totally down to answer questions that people drop in the comments about whether a chiropractor can help somebody with that, or a physical therapist or whoever. Like ultimately, it doesn't matter who you see as long as they are following appropriate evidence. And I'm happy for people to also put comments if you disagree. Like if you're a PT and you're like, no, Nate's full of shit. Like
comment below.
Yeah. If you're a chiropractor and you think I'm full of shit, comment below. Let's have a conversation. It's okay. Yeah. I like having disagreement where we can chat about things. It doesn't have to get so emotionally volatile all the time and turn into this pissing match.
Yeah.
It's like, it's tiring.
Yeah. I think that's good. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to comment below, ask any questions you have, chiropractic or physical therapy. Hopefully this helps kind of debunk all of those kind of like myths or kind of like stereotypes that we hear about kind of just chiropractors in general. Hopefully one day we can see them all be a cohesive unit, working together. And who knows, maybe we might have a chiropractor on the show sometime where he can talk about his stuff and you guys can just hash it out there. And
I know a couple. I bet Kyle would come on.
We should bring
Kyle, and then there's another guy. He works with barbell medicine. Oh God, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting your name.
Do you have anything you want to leave the viewers with? Any last minute thoughts?
last minute thoughts. In terms of chiropractic versus physical therapy, there is no versus. We create our own divisions, and ultimately, if we all just follow the evidence as it emerges, we're doing the same thing. Like, we're helping the same people. You know, chiropractors might have a little bit more training with manipulations, and PTs might have more training with exercise prescription, but both of those things can be learned. I could teach manipulation to someone who is not even in school. Like, it's just you can learn it. Like, it's not that hard. Same thing with like exercise prescription. You can learn it. It's not that hard. So those are just things that cause unnecessary division. So I think, you know, instead of causing more division, like 70 to 75% of the United States is overweight or obese. We have lots of non-communicative diseases that need to be addressed. So if we could stop bickering among each other, maybe we could have a cohesive effort of pushing the country forward to be healthier. And when people are more healthy, they have happier lives as well. And, you know, maybe we'll be able to get out of some of the mess that we're in by just making ourselves healthier and happier.
I like that. That's good. But yeah, if you like this video, comment, subscribe, tell us any other questions or concerns that you have with physical therapy or chiropractic work or anything. Call us out. Call Dr. Nate out. I'm just asking the questions.
Call him out.
And we will see you in the next video.
See you guys.